Spineless Starmer has just completely given in to the rebels on the welfare reform bill that is about to be voted on. We have had a U-turn happen on Thursday, but we have now had the mother of all U-turns, where essentially the main part of the bill, the change to the eligibility criteria for PIP, has just been thrown out the window, almost entirely scrapped. So the change was going to be put into place where you need to score a higher score on the criteria out of 12 when it comes to questions about how hard is it for you to wash yourself, how hard is it for you to dress yourself, etc., that lead to an assessment as to whether you will qualify for PIP. The threshold is supposed to be being made higher, but what is going to happen is, rather than the changes coming into force automatically in November 2026, there is going to be a report done into the matter by Stephen Timms that will come out supposedly in autumn next year, and then we're just gonna take it from there, see what the report says. If the report says it's a bad idea to do this, it probably won't happen at all. So this is Keir Starmer just completely giving in, and this is going to make things very, very difficult for Rachel Reeves because she now needs to find some extra cash. We were told they're going to save $5 billion with these changes, but she'll be lucky if she gets a penny of savings after the big U-turn that has just happened. I mean, we were talking about just trying to save $5 billion in a welfare bill that is expected to hit potentially $100 billion by 2030. Okay, that is a tiny saving, but still they were met with the mother of all rebellions, absolute chaos. It has been going on all day. We've had constant updates from the press. We've been hearing that the government are just scrambling, running around like headless chickens, trying to appease the rebels. A rebel MP has said the government was scrambling at the last minute to try and make changes to improve the set of proposals to make people happy. We've got the debate still ongoing as I speak right now in the Commons, with backbench MP after backbench MP standing up and saying how horrific these changes would be. We had a couple of hours ago the government considering delaying the bill. I mean, it has just been absolute chaos. And let's take a look at what Kemi Badenoch had to say. This was before the U-turn, but just about the bill in general.
Thank God it was Conservatives who were there under COVID. Labour would have bankrupted the country. Mr. Speaker, we face a new reality. Under this government, every single working day, 3,000 people move on to incapacity benefits. 3,000 every single day. That is a 50% increase from when we left office. A 50% increase. They have only been in power 1 year, Mr. Speaker. Imagine what it's going to be like after the next 4 years. A 50% increase, 3,000 people onto incapacity benefits every day. That is not normal, it is not sustainable, and it is not acceptable. The Conservative Party are the only party in this House urging restraint. And unless this House acts, they will bankrupt our children. They will bury the next generation under a mountain of borrowing and debt, and they will do it not because we had no choice, but because they lacked the courage to choose. A fundamental and serious program to reform our welfare system is required, and this bill is not it.
Kemi Badenoch is getting a lot of praise for that speech there. Very, very fiery today. I mean, a lot of people will say, well, Conservatives, you're one to speak, because it's not like the Conservatives did very much to reduce the welfare bill during their time. They did a little bit with universal credit, but then since COVID, things have really ballooned. But she does make the good point there at the end that this bill is not a serious proposal to actually properly reform the welfare system, to actually properly get people back into work, to actually, for the people who are on benefits because they've got, mild depression or something, it's not, say, putting in place better support instead of benefits and just letting them sit at home on their asses, right? That will actually improve their lives, give them support they need, and so on, right? This all this bill was, let's just be clear about this. This was not Labour saying, you know what, we really need to get people back to work, improve people's self-esteem and properly reform meaningfully the welfare system. No. This was Rachel Reeves saying, we need 5 billion quid to balance the books. So she went to the Department for Work and Pensions and said, can you do something that saves 5 billion quid? Just that amount of money, please. That's what she did, and this is what they came back with. They're like, well, if we change the numbers on the PIP criteria this much, that will save 5 billion quid. It wasn't even sure where they got that number 5 billion from and if it actually was going to save that much money, but that's exactly what they did. They didn't do anything to fundamentally reform the system. They just wanted to save a bit of money, and that is where a lot of criticism of this bill has come from, because it's not a genuine effort to change their welfare system, and a lot of people thought that it was cruel for Rachel Reeves to kind of use disability benefit as a way to not really try and help these people and get people back into work, but literally just saying, I need to save some cash, can we take some of yours from the Department for Work and Pensions. But anyway, even with the attempt to save 5 billion quid, it has all fallen on its face. Keir Starmer has no spine whatsoever. He is spineless Starmer, he is flip-flop Starmer, and all the other nicknames, and he has completely given in. So we are about to have the vote on this bill, but I mean, I don't even see the point anymore, because the main point of the bill has just disappeared. Now, it might be the case that we still have these changes to the PIP criteria go through eventually, but we're gonna wait until we get some review in over a year's time. I don't know why it takes you over a year to write a little report before we can make a decision on this, but apparently that's what we need to do. That is how slow things go in this government, and this is very embarrassing timing for Keir Starmer at the moment, because it is the 1st of July, the general election last year was on the 4th of July, and so everyone is talking about what has Keir Starmer achieved in his first year in government, and he's trying to point to various boring stats and saying, look, we've done so much in our first year in power, but everyone is just focusing on this, saying a year in, you've got a huge rebellion, you're having to make all of these U-turns, you can't get any of your agenda through. We've just had the news in today that we have had 20,000 people cross the channel this year, so smashing the gangs isn't working. Angela Rayner is 170,000 homes behind schedule on her house building plan. They have got absolutely nothing, or nearly nothing, to show for. And this whole debacle around the bill, them all running around like headless chickens in Westminster today, it is just the cherry on top. You wouldn't expect that a year after winning a huge majority and getting 480 MPs that this is where the Labour Party would find themselves. But here they are. Anyway, that is the latest. We will keep you updated. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you very much for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any more videos. See you next time.